Tonight, a makeover on Merivale.
I think if they have their own dedicated lane, it will avoid a lot of traffic and stuck behind people who pile up.
Will bus lanes on a 4-kilometer stretch of one of Ottawa's busiest roads help ease congestion? Tour guides on a remote portion of the Ottawa River make a mysterious find.
This vehicle came from upriver, flowed down around this corner and landed here.
A car stolen last year, now recovered. What does it all mean? And it's not a simple coffee and donut operation.
I can actually have, the AI leverage those most important moments and bubble them up so that my team's ending up spending their time not on finding the needle in the haystack, but reacting to the most important moments.
How AI could be helping your local Tim Hortons franchise deliver. Good evening. We begin tonight with a plan that would transform one of the busiest north-south corridors in Ottawa. The city is looking at installing dedicated bus lanes on a stretch of Merivale Road to help alleviate congestion and boost reliability. CTV's Katie Griffin is here with the details on this. Katie?
Patricia, it's a very busy area, especially during rush hour. The area councillor says the city is trying to figure out how to make transit more convenient and reliable for people, and this may be a way to do it. Taking transit on Merivale Road, Victor Jordan says he often finds himself
stuck in traffic.
The wheels now in motion. The city looking at what it would take to install dedicated bus lanes on a 4-kilometer stretch.
So I think it's a great idea for us, and it will eventually benefit the community.
The proposed plan would see bus-only lanes on Merivale between Baseline and Slack roads.
Especially around 4 p.m., you can't really move. Bus is always in the way. So I'd say opening up a second lane or a third lane for buses would really help the traffic flow.
The buses are great. They help our environment and lower the emission, but I think if they have their own dedicated lane, it will avoid a lot of traffic and stuck behind people who pile up.
Not everyone is on board.
It's going to be a waste of taxpayers' money, and there's a lot of drain on the system already. So I would say we don't need it.
The area councillor says with few north-south connections through the ward, looking at continuous bus lanes is a good idea.
This environmental study that's coming up is going to try and assess how, within the land configuration that you see on Merivale, could we actually try and get those continuous bus lanes, meaning that buses wouldn't be stuck in the traffic that everyone knows on Merivale so well, maybe encouraging people to choose transit for some of their trips when they're able to.
And there's no timeline or price tag for any of this, and some are skeptical about whether this would actually ease congestion. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Katie Griffin live for us tonight, and you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the city's plan to explore bus-only lanes on Merivale. Well, turning now to an unusual discovery in the Ottawa River. A whitewater rafting resort found a car at the bottom of a set of rapids, and it turns out the vehicle was reported stolen last year. The car was found in Butcher's Knife Rapids in the Whitewater Region last week. CTV's Dylan Dyson was in that area today and joins us live in studio with what we know this evening. Dylan.
That's right, Patricia. The vehicle was found by Whitewater tour guides a week ago and was likely only seen due to low water levels after a dry summer. But the question as to how it got there remains a mystery.
This was found about a third of the way out into the current here and about 3 or 4 feet down.
After paddling the Ottawa River for decades, this is the strangest thing Joel Kowalski has ever found in the river.
My initial thoughts were, how on earth is there a car down here? We're quite far from the closest place where you could roll a vehicle easily into the river.
A red 2022 hatchback Honda Civic sunk to the bottom of the Butcher's Knife Rapids.
Where we're located is on an island amongst the Rocher Fondue Rapids, which are in Whitewater Region. And so we're halfway down a 10-kilometer section of Wilderness River. There are no roads on this side. We're on an island. There's rapids that come around here.
Kowalski and his team at Wilderness Tours, which owns the land along the rapids, called police and helped tow the vehicle to land. Ontario Provincial Police say the vehicle was reported stolen in 2024, but how it found its way to the middle of the Ottawa River in such a remote location is a mystery.
My best assumption is that this vehicle came from upriver, flowed down around this corner and landed here because that's the closest you could easily get a vehicle in the river, but that's still 700 meters upstream from this spot.
One thing Kowalski does know is that the extraction will most likely prove to be more difficult than how the car ended up there.
We're basically going to winch it up to the top of the rapid where we'll get it onto a float and then carefully with multiple secure points get it across the river to where a large heavy-duty tow truck with a boom arm can then lift it out of the river and take it off to their yard.
Kowalski says it's tough to know how long the car was there for, but reckons it was most likely swept along to that location by high springtime waters. Renfrew OPP are continuing to investigate. Patricia.
And did you actually have to paddle out to get to that location where you were shooting today?
We did. It was on an island where it was pulled up onto land, yes.
A little remote. All right, CTV's Dylan Dyson live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, an artificial intelligence company based in Canada is expanding, adding more jobs and office space as the technology becomes more prevalent. Solink develops software that flags potential criminal behavior to businesses. But today's announcement is raising questions about the proper and ethical use of AI and the guardrails needed. CTV's Natalie Van Roy was at today's announcement in Ottawa's Tech Hub and joins us with more. Natalie?
Well, Patricia, the next time you go into a Tim Hortons, AI might be watching your every move, and that technology is developed here in Ottawa.
You may think that surveillance video like this is watched by a security guard, but it's actually artificial intelligence seeing it all.
It allows us to punch above our weight. The technology gives us tools to our employees to better do their job, to be more independent in their decision making.
Tim Hortons franchise owner Chris McCluskey uses the platform called Solink to analyze surveillance video and monitor for criminal behavior at multiple Tim Hortons locations.
From a loss prevention perspective, if we have some bad actors that are attempting to do bad stuff in our restaurants, it can let us know.
The software is developed by Ottawa-based company Solink, which is announcing a major office expansion and plans for growth.
It's not about replacing jobs, it's really about augmenting the job.
The business says there's global demand for the technology to help solve crime and improve operations through security camera data.
I can have a security guard sitting there looking at hundreds and hundreds of cameras, or I can actually have, the AI leverage those most important moments and bubble them up.
But there are still concerns about whether AI will ultimately replace human workers.
The history of technology is that technologies usually create more jobs than they displace.
For McCluskey, he says the technology will not result in job losses at his locations.
It doesn't replace staff, it just empowers our staff with more tools to do their job better.
And it's not just Tim Hortons. This technology is used in 60 countries at more than 35 locations right across the world. Patricia.
CTV's Natalie Van Roy live for us tonight. Thank you. Still ahead as the Fairweather Park season inches toward a close, a celebration of a new service this summer that puts recreation at the feet and fingertips of anyone in Ottawa. That story coming up. Well, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. It's cooling off. We've lost a couple of degrees since 5 o'clock. Sky is beautiful, but 7 degrees out there right now as we head out to Manotick for our first look at the weather forecast. Jackie.
Well, Patricia, after a few days of some gray, gloomy, dark days, we did see a little bit of sunshine late this afternoon, so I will take it. But you're right, the temperatures did drop slightly. There is still a slight chance that we could see some very light drizzle moving through. We did see a little bit of that earlier today. Right now, throughout the region, temperature is sitting between 8 to 10 degrees. Slightly cooler in Bancroft, sitting at 6 degrees. As we look towards Montreal and Mont-Tremblant, temperatures are at 8 as well. Taking a look at what we can see for the next few days or so, the chance of showers will linger into tomorrow. That's just in the early parts of the Friday, but for the most part, we are anticipating some sunshine here in Ottawa, but mostly cloudy skies for pretty much most of the region. Saturday, though, is looking a lot nicer. We will have these details and much more when we head back to you guys in a little bit. But for now, yeah, we're hanging out at Watson's Mill, Patricia. Their haunt night is starting at 7 o'clock. We've got 75 high school students dressed up to scare the local community and much more. We will be hearing from the organizers in just a bit.
Well, 39-year-old Arn Pryor woman is dead after a collision involving horses on a highway in Renfrew County. Emergency crews were called to Highway 132 near Haas Road in the townships of Admiston Bromley last night. An SUV collided with horses loose on the highway. The driver and 3 horses were found dead at the scene. Anyone who witnessed the crash is asked to contact the Renfrew OPP. Ottawa police are looking for a suspect allegedly involved in a Facebook marketplace robbery. The suspect met with the seller on Twyford Street in the city's south end around 10 p.m. on October 11th. Police say the suspect ran off with the item. The seller chased him and was then allegedly pushed. The victim suffered minor injuries. Police have released these photos of the suspect, who's described as a black man in his early 20s. He was wearing navy pants, a white hoodie, and a black vest at the time. Well, a warning tonight from Ottawa police about gold investment scams after an elderly Ottawa couple lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Police say criminals are using pop-up messages that look like they're from trusted sources, convincing people their online financial information has been stolen. After they gain the victim's trust, they convince them to buy gold and arrange to pick it up. The Ottawa couple lost $460,000. Well, it appears the LRT East Extension testing is not going as smoothly as many would have hoped. In an update this afternoon, OC Transpo saying some deficiencies have been discovered and more work needs to be done before the final phase of testing begins. The memo did not specify what the exact deficiencies are, but OC Transpo says they're related to track infrastructure and concrete. It's not clear how long the work to fix those issues could take, and there is no firm opening date. The federal government has tabled its crime bill, which aims to crack down on violent and repeat offenders. This comes after a man was shot dead by police in Niagara Falls this week after he killed a woman. He was allegedly out on bail for a crime committed 2 years ago. CTV's Heather Wright reports.
On Tuesday afternoon, shots rang out at this busy shopping plaza in Brampton, Ontario. A woman shot and killed a child abducted. The man accused was awaiting trial for domestic violence charges involving the same woman, 29-year-old Savannah Kula. It's these types of repeat and violent crimes Ottawa is hoping to crack down on, with new measures announced today.
This is a package of sweeping reforms that includes more than 80 targeted measures that will make bail laws stricter and sentencing tougher.
The federal Liberal government has been accused of being soft on crime and for allowing a so-called revolving door justice system that's too lenient on violent offenders. The changes announced today are designed to make bail more difficult to get, creating a reverse onus that falls on the accused.
The accused must provide information that clearly demonstrates they do not pose a public safety risk.
The bill also introduces a new set of aggravating factors that will lead to stiffer penalties against violent and repeat offenders, as well as those who target first responders, organized retail theft, and crimes against public infrastructure. Victims' rights advocates, police unions, and some provinces have been demanding these types of changes amid a rise in violent and high-profile crimes. But not everyone is on side. The Canadian Civil Liberties Association says there is not enough evidence that shows bail causes crime, and they worry innocent people will be held in custody as a result.
We do worry that as we erode this charter right more and more and more, we'll get into a situation where just because you are accused of something, before you have your day in court, you're held behind bars.
Asked about whether this bill will require more space in jails, the Justice Minister said provinces asked for these changes and should be developing the capacity to manage more people going through detention facilities. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
And we have extended coverage of the federal government's new crime bill. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. In a little over 24 hours from now, the Toronto Blue Jays will take on the Los Angeles Dodgers in Game 1 of the World Series. And we now know who the starting pitchers will be, and we have a sense of how the players are feeling as well. CTV's Kimberly Fowler joins us now with more on this. Kimberly.
Well, Patricia, it's media day at the World Series, meaning both teams spoke with reporters. And Jays manager John Schneider says he's calling on 22-year-old phenom Trey Savage to be the starting pitcher for Game 1.
Pretty much called me into his office, said they have faith in me to run me out there in the first game, and I was fired up. Got up, hugged him, hugged Pete. I was very excited.
The Jays rookie has only pitched in 6 major league games, 3 in the regular season, and the Jays have won 2 of the 3 games as Savage has started this postseason. Now, the Dodgers announced their ace, Blake Snell, will take the bump for LA in Game 1. And some of the media south of the border have tried to frame this matchup as a David versus Goliath meeting. Here's what Jays manager John Snyder had to say about that.
2 best teams left standing. Again, built differently, have different strengths, and man, there's a reason we're here and there's a reason they're there. You know, I think the one thing we cannot do is look over there and say that is Goliath. That is a beatable baseball team that has its flaws and that has its really, really good strengths. How we expose each of them will determine who wins the series.
Now, the 2 teams' path to the World Series have been different. The Dodgers, they've pretty much rolled right through, while the Jays have fought tooth and nail in each round of these playoffs to make it to the Fall Classic. And even check this out. This is the Prime Minister stopped by batting practice today. Here's a look at Mark Carney chatting with Schneider and Jays General Manager Ross Atkins and their President and CEO Mark Shapiro ahead of the game. Patricia, we didn't even get into the big stars of the series, Shohei Ohtani, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. They will definitely have an impact on these series. And what about Bo Bichette? Will he even play? Final rosters for both teams will be announced tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And again, Game 1 gets underway tomorrow night in Toronto. First pitch just after 8 o'clock.
And how about the Prime Minister cheering on the Oilers one night, hanging with the Jays later in the week?
Okay.
Thanks, Kimberly. CTV's Kimberly Fowler live for us tonight. We want to see your Jays spirit. Send us your videos and photos, and you could see them on our broadcast or in our multimedia gallery on our website. You can send them to ottawaphotos@ctv.ca.
Location you're at. Take a picture of the box.
Voila.
And it's pumped.
It's there. Well, just ahead, we'll tell you everything you need to know about a new program in Ottawa offering free sports equipment at parks. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. We are less than an hour away from opening night at Watson Mills Haunt Nights. I just want to look at the detail that the staff have put in creating this wonderful scare and transforming the mill into 3 floors of terror. Shannon, Juice, you're telling me just how wonderful and how amazing the staff has been for the last 30 days.
The staff works so hard on this year after year. They change it up too. So if you were here last year, it's not the same this year.
$10 to get in, 7 to 10. What do you want to take away from everyone? It goes to a great cause, doesn't it?
Well, you know what? Watson's Mill is a nonprofit charity, and we're in the process of taking ownership of the 2 buildings across the road, and we've got a lot of repairs to do over there. So honestly, every penny counts so much right now.
Thank you so much, Shannon. Good luck on your opening night. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam overlooking TD Place. It's a cool 7 degrees out.
Your morning just got a little brighter. Wake up and start your day with CTV Your Morning, and you could be $20,000 richer. Simply watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa for the daily code word. Then enter it online at ctvottawa.ca for your chance to win. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. CTV Your Morning's $20,000 giveaway. Watch CTV Your Morning Ottawa, weekday morning 6 to 9.
Our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, it's been up and running for a bit, but the city officially launching a new program now offering free sports equipment at Ottawa parks. There are lockers set up throughout the city where you can rent basketballs and soccer balls, and already there are plans to expand the program. CTV's Peter Sperling has the details.
There we go. Good work.
For grade 3 student Tariq, the best part about playing basketball?
Playing with friends. There we go.
And playing with new friends like 5-time Olympian Charmaine Crooks.
It was great.
It reminds me of when I was growing up as a kid and how much fun sport is.
Now, a new program in Ottawa is aiming to make it a little easier to play sports by offering free equipment.
Take a picture of the box. Voila. We're helping to break down the barriers to sport and bringing access to sport anytime, anywhere.
50 self-serve lockers installed at parks across the city, most stocked with basketballs and soccer balls.
We have plans for pickleball, for softball, for baseball. There's also light exercise equipment like resistance bands and things like that.
This is just a brilliant innovation, and today's launch exemplifies our collective and mutual commitment to make sport more accessible for all children and youth, regardless of their background, circumstances.
It's a collaboration with the City of Ottawa, the Equip Sport app, and Canadian Tire Jumpstart.
This is an innovative way, one of many ways that we can reduce that barrier to participation by providing free equipment exactly where kids want them.
Equipment is accessed using the free Equip Sport app on an Android or Apple device.
So here's how it works. Even if you want to play basketball in the rain, you open up the app, go through a few prompts, and then you hit unlock.
You don't need a credit card, and there's no limit on how long you can keep equipment.
Can keep extending the rental for as long as you want to play.
Ottawa is the second city in Canada to have these lockers. A crew maintains the equipment. For these children, a chance to have fun.
My favorite part about today was definitely shooting on the nets. That was the most fun. I did great.
Peter Sperling, CTV News.
Well, it is another rainy day in the capital, as you saw, but a stretch of sunshine is headed our way. Clouds lingering over the capital today, some braving the rain to go for a walk in Brantwood Park along the Rideau River. But there are plenty of sunny days in the forecast. Still, though, this seems more in line with Halloween time, which we are approaching as we head back out to Manotick, where it looks very Halloweenish right around you there at Watson's Mill. Jackie?
Yeah, the sun is fully going down. It's really fitting the mood for a hot night here at Watson's Mill in Manotick. And you said it, we are getting a stretch of some sunshine over the next several days, but you're probably going to want to trade in that umbrella for perhaps some gloves, maybe a toque, because we are getting much chillier as we especially look into our overnight conditions. Taking a look now, temperatures right now 7 degrees. We've got some northwesterly winds moving in, hence that cool air that's moving through. 10 degrees is the daytime high that we saw here in the capital. And for really most of the next 24 hours, we're only going to be getting about single digits. So starting off in the morning, it's going to start off at 2 degrees. We're only getting to a daytime high of about 9. Yeah, I said it, 9 degrees. Still a chance that we could see some showers as well, but for the most part, it's going to be mainly cloudy skies. As we look towards tonight's lows around eastern Ontario, could actually see by Bancroft and Pembroke in the Valley that, including the chance of showers, because it's getting chillier and cooler, there is a chance that we could see some flurries forming overnight. It's about 3 degrees along the seaway for the lows. Tomorrow's highs, we are getting to a daytime high of about 9 here in Ottawa, about 10 to 11 degrees by Kingston and Brockville, 6 and 7 degrees as we look towards Pembroke as well as Petawawa. Now, across the region, how do we compare? Well, temperatures sitting around 10 degrees in Fredericton, Charlottetown at 13 degrees. Here in Ontario, it's a cool 3 degrees in Sudbury as well as Timmins, where, yeah, there is a little bit of chance of those flurries moving through, and that's where we could likely see those flurries moving through the valley in the early parts of tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, to our friends out west, 15 to 16 degrees. They're getting a lot of sunshine, so jealous of that a little bit. So Edmonton, 15 degrees, Calgary, 16, Vancouver with a little bit of that chance of rain, 13 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. And I'm not too worried, though, because we are likely going to be getting some sunshine very, very soon. Today's weather brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Center, celebrating over 80 years in family business. So while there is still a slight chance that we could see some showers, especially in the midday for our Friday, it should clear out by the time we get to Friday evening, where from Saturday well into the middle of next week, we are likely going to see lots of sunshine. But the temperatures are sitting around what we see this time of year, which is about 8 to 10 degrees. It's those overnight lows, Saturday into Sunday, -3, Sunday into Monday, -5. I'm not quite ready for. So like I said, bring out those thicker coats. Maybe you want that gloves, that hat to keep you warm to start off the day.
We go together, better than birds of a feather, you and me.
Ottawa, get ready. The Jonas Brothers are coming to the Canadian Tire Centre on December 15th. And joining the party is special guest Jesse McCartney. And we want you there. Thanks to our friends at Ottawa's Move 100, we have your chance to experience one unforgettable night. You could win a pair of tickets in the first 5 rows to see the Jonas Brothers. Head over to ctvottawa.ca now and enter for your chance to win. Wishing you the best of luck. Well, Patricia, in a little bit, these doors are going to open and welcome in hundreds of people coming in, about $10 for a ticket where they can experience 3 floors of terror at Watson's Mill. I hear that the ghost of Lady Anne is roaming around as well, so maybe we'll spot her, maybe before the 7 o'clock rolls around.
I'll maybe wait till spring and feed the ducks instead. Jackie, thanks very much. We'll talk to you in a bit. Well, coming up, a warning to Toys R Us shoppers in Canada about a hack compromising customer information.
Tonight, an exclusive look ahead of a long-awaited auction.
These are examples of Hudson Bay calendar works commissioned.
The fascinating Hudson's Bay artifacts set to go up for sale and how much they could cost. Later on CTV National News.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, it is time now to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
Coming up Saturday, it's the Vegans Who Snack Food and Art Festival. This is happening in Hintonburg at the Parkdale Market and has over 50 local vendors with snacks, whole meals, crafts, vintage clothing, and lots more. It also features live entertainment, and it's dog-friendly, free, and open to all ages. I will for sure be checking this one out. It's 12 to 4 p.m. at the Parkdale Market on Saturday. Next up today is the Ottawa Fall Rock and Gem Show. This is back at the EY Centre all weekend, featuring thousands of crystals, fossils, gems, and lots more from all across Canada and beyond. It's a fun one for the whole family. Admission is just $3. Family passes are $7, and kids 5 and under get in for free. And finally today, another market for you to check out. It's the Signatures Handmade Market at Lansdowne under the Aberdeen Pavilion. This one is all weekend long, starting tonight, and is featuring over 130 vendors selling everything from treats and snacks to fall crafts, and of course, lots more. Tickets are just $8 and are available online or at the door. Of course, lots more happening this weekend around the capital. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. Prime Minister Mark Carney delivered a primetime address in the capital last night as he spoke to University of Ottawa students about the upcoming budget and some of the challenges the country is facing.
This is what the upcoming budget will be about: building, taking control, and winning.
Carney did not provide any specific details about what will be included in the budget, but promised generational investments while warning there will have to be sacrifices as the trade war continues. The budget will be tabled November 4th.
These defendants perpetrated a scheme to defraud by betting on inside, non-public information about NBA athletes and teams.
More than 30 people have been arrested by the FBI for illegal sports betting and rigged poker games allegedly involving mafia families. Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier and Portland Trail Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups are among those arrested. Authorities say the fraud is mind-boggling, valued in the tens of millions of dollars. Toys R Us Canada is warning customers their personal information may have been accessed in a cybersecurity incident. The toy chain sent an email to affected customers saying names, addresses, emails, and phone numbers were compromised. The company says the breach did not involve credit card information or passwords. The investigation into the hack began this summer after claims emerged online that someone had stolen information from the customer database. The number of Ottawa households facing food insecurity continues to rise. According to Ottawa Public Health, 1 in 4, or 25% of households, experienced food insecurity last year. That's up from 23% in 2023. Before the pandemic, in 2019, that number was just 16%.
Goes down to Braun, back to Shabbat. Now he'll let it go.
Well, the Sens are back on home ice tonight, hoping to get back into the win column. Ottawa fell to the Oilers 3-2 in OT Tuesday evening. They are hoping to turn things around tonight against the Flyers. The team continues to be without captain Brady Tkachuk, who is out for several weeks as he recovers from thumb surgery. Puck drop at the Canadian Tire Centre, coming up in just a few minutes tonight at 7 p.m.
Measles is a very contagious disease, and it can spread very quickly within a household.
Well, just ahead, Ottawa's top doctor joins us for his regular segment to discuss your health. This week, he'll share what you need to know about measles and fall vaccines.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
This is your United Way Minute.
Ross supports older adults, seniors, and also adults with disabilities who live in their homes in the rural communities that we serve.
They told me they had a program here for Helgard, for my wife, and it would be 5 hours of an adult care program, and I would be able to get 2 hours of care support with a group. I meet people in the same situation, and that's been a real eye-opener. We share experiences, we share successes, we share failures. For her, it gives her 2 days a week where she has a lot of fun.
We used to only have one caregiver support group, but thanks to the United Way and our partnership, they've worked with us to enable us to have 2 groups now.
It's a life changer, it really is.
Donate today at unitedwayeo.ca or call 613-228-6700.
Continuing our new segment tonight, focused on your health. Dr. Trevor Arneson is Ottawa's Medical Officer of Health. He will join us every couple of weeks to talk about pressing health issues or dispel some myths and focus on the facts. Tonight, it's about vaccines and the time of year when many are at risk, of course, of respiratory illnesses. The clinic's offering flu, COVID-19, and RSV vaccines just underway now here as we're well into October. But we want to start with the news of the week, if we can, Dr. Arneson. And of course, new cases of measles here in Ottawa, 5 cases within one family. How concerned are you at Ottawa Public Health about the measles?
So we're actually not that concerned because we have very high levels of measles vaccination in the community, and we don't see spread within the community. So, you know, when we hear 5 cases, that sounds like a lot, but measles is a very contagious disease, and it can spread very quickly within a household, and these were all related individuals. So really, we're not concerned about widespread transmission within the community.
All of that said, there is a vaccination for the measles, right, which kids should be getting on a regular basis.
100%. Yes, there's a 2 dose of measles-containing vaccines that children get, one at 12 months and then the other at 4 to 6 years old. And as I said, in Ottawa, we have very high levels of coverage.
Okay, that is good to know that we are getting those vaccines. All right, let's talk about respiratory illness season. We hear it every year. What does that actually mean?
Yeah, so respiratory illness season is the time of year when it gets a bit cold outside and we all start coming inside, and that increases the transmission of these viruses, which cause similar symptoms like cough, cold, runny nose, sneezing, and respiratory problems. And 2 of the really more serious ones are influenza and now COVID-19. Coming out of the pandemic, we're seeing increasing activity every fall season. And as well as RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus, we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago. And those ones are all prevented through different vaccinations.
Okay, so let's talk about that. We want to get into the when and where, starting with when are the COVID-19, flu, and RSV vaccines all available?
So all of them are now available for certain groups. The focus with COVID-19 and flu is often individuals who are older adults. There are particular vaccines that they can get for flu and COVID-19 as well. We're really encouraging older adults and people with medical conditions, so respiratory conditions and other medical conditions, to get the vaccine. And that can be It can be seen on our website, ottawapublichealth.ca/RESP-virus, which talks about these different conditions that would put you at risk for these and when you should get those vaccines. Everyone can get the vaccines, though, for COVID-19 and flu starting as of next week across Ontario.
Okay, now this feels like it should be a nice simple question to end off on. Where are the vaccines available? But there's a couple of categories here.
Yeah, so I would like to say that it was perfectly simple, but for COVID-19 and flu, we generally advise most people to go to a pharmacy. Pharmacists are able to give those vaccines. Some primary care providers like family doctors and nurse practitioners also provide COVID-19 or flu vaccines. But the RSV vaccine cannot be provided through the pharmacies. So those have to be through, RSV vaccines have to be through primary care providers like doctors or nurse practitioners.
So maybe a little bit tougher to get. Maybe they'll change the rules at some point. We'll hope.
Yes, I think they're working on that.
All right, Dr. Arneson from Ottawa Public Health, my thanks to you.
The message we want is that we're better together as women. We're better when we talk and when we share, when we can be vulnerable and when we can be strong. So we're excited to continue to build that community.
Well, coming up, there's a new podcast available on iHeartRadio sharing the inspiring stories of Canadian women. We'll speak with the Ottawa co-hosts of The Honest Talk after the break.
Tamarack Ottawa Race Weekend returns May 23rd and 24th, and it's never too early to join Canada's biggest running celebration. From the full and the half marathons to the 10K, the 5K, and the 2K, there's a distance for everyone. Register early to save on fees, jumpstart your training, and get ahead on fundraising in the Desjardins Charity Challenge. Join thousands at the start line and be a part of something amazing. Visit runottawa.ca for more information.
Well, taking a closer look now at one of our top stories. It started as two friends talking honestly about life, work, and everything in between. And now their voices are being heard across Canada. Jennifer Stewart and Catherine Clark are the founders of The Honest Talk, a podcast built on authenticity and connection. And today they're celebrating a big leap. The Honest Talk is now streaming on iHeartRadio, which is amazing. And we're very pleased to have Jen Stewart and Catherine Clark joining us here in studio today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thrilled to be here.
So, I mean, humble beginnings, and it has grown exponentially. This is going to take it out to a whole new audience. Why are you excited about that? And what is the message that you're really hoping to share with people who have not heard your podcast before?
We're excited because when we first had the initial conversation over a couple of glasses of wine, when we got the idea for the podcast, we always wanted to take it national. We wanted to reach as many voices, as many women as possible. So we're really excited about that. And the message we want is that we're better together as women. We're better when we talk and when we share, when we can be vulnerable and when we can be strong. So we're excited to continue to build that community.
I think the title underlines that, The Honest Talk, trying to have the conversations that maybe we're not always comfortable for women to have. We're kind of hidden away. One of the things I've noticed in the last few years is like menopause. There's information about menopause everywhere. We never used to talk about that.
Right.
Do you feel like you've really seen that shift?
1,000%. And what we're trying to do really is to provide women with a space where they can get the information that helps them lead better, healthier, happier lives. And a lot of the things that that women have gone through for years, they've gone through thinking they were completely alone going through it, when in fact thousands of other women have been going through it too, but they just don't talk about it. And that's what we're trying to do, to break down the barriers and the silos. And holy moly, menopause is a huge topic. And we talk with experts. We provide stories on our media site, which is thehonesttalk.ca, about menopause, about financial health, about fashion, about politics, the things that women are talking about and experiencing in their everyday lives, just because that's where we're at.
Who knew a podcast could be a safe space? It can be, and a women's summit can certainly be a safe space. Some of the names as well that you have had last year, this year, who are going to be part of this summit tomorrow. Tell me about that,
We're
Jen.
so excited. So we have Arlene Dickinson, who's obviously a dragon in Dragon's Den. We have Canada's ambassador to the United States, Kirsten Hillman. We have former Premier Kathleen Wynne, and we have a menopause expert, Dr. Piper, joining us. And that's just a few of the people that will be there tomorrow. Melissa Leone, who's a financial expert and guru as well. So we're really excited to kind of curate this day that is both, informative and fun and uplifting. We've integrated networking as well, so super excited about tomorrow.
And sold out, by the way. That's how excited people are about it. Catherine, lastly to you, obviously you grew up with a very strong mom, great role model for a lot of us, really. Not everyone has that. To have that kind of visibility for some of these women who will be there tomorrow, who are on the podcast that you talked to, who have contributed, how important is that, do you think?
It's so important to me. You know, I think Jen and I were both shaped by strong moms, and that has informed how we grew up, but also how we approach our own lives and how we approach the work that we do, both within the community and with The Honest Talk. And we're fortunate for that. What we're trying to do is to create that space for other women so that they have a place to turn, to be entertained, but also to be informed.
It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow as well. Jen and Catherine, thank you so much for taking a few minutes with us. That Women's Summit at the Brook Street tomorrow, but sold out. And you can catch The Honest Talk with Jennifer Stewart and Catherine Clark. The podcast is now available anytime on iHeartRadio. You can tune in for inspiring and honest conversations with some of Canada's most remarkable women. Well, coming up, an Ottawa woman wins a massive lottery jackpot. Those details are just ahead. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. Joining me, we have Carly Patura. And Carly, I brought you in because you are the donor for this wonderful pumpkin. It's not a prop, ladies and gentlemen. That is the real thing. How much does this weigh?
It weighs 661 pounds.
And I know that you and your dad worked hard to carve this pumpkin out. It's so fantastic. This isn't the largest pumpkin that your father has grown.
No, one of his personal best is 1,778 pounds.
Oh my God, how amazing is this, folks? Just love the decor here. Looking forward to seeing it. And you can find this here at the Watson Mill. And the haunted homes are actually, or the haunted house is actually taking place in just a couple more minutes. 7 o'clock is when the doors open. All right, next week, speaking of Halloween, we will be showcasing some of the most creative Halloween decorations in the city. If you want us to come to your home or be featured on CTV Ottawa, submit your photos on our website's online gallery or send them to ottawaphotos@ctv.ca. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, showcasing downtown Ottawa. And you could probably see the National Arts Centre all lit up on this fine Thursday evening. Current temperature, 7 degrees.
Tomorrow on CTV Your Morning Ottawa, we're checking out what's new in theaters with Mr. Hollywood, including a long-awaited film about Bruce Springsteen. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa starting at 6.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
I don't think we need an extra bus lane because I want to save the city money and the money can go to other pertinent things.
A plan to transform one of the busiest north-south corridors in Ottawa. The city is exploring dedicated bus lanes on Merivale Road.
This vehicle came from upriver, flowed down around this corner and landed here.
A whitewater rafting company in our region discovers a stolen car at the bottom of the Ottawa River.
I can have a security guard sitting there looking at hundreds and hundreds of cameras, or I can actually have, the AI leverage those most important moments and bubble them up.
A Canada tech company is expanding as more businesses, including Tim Hortons, use AI software which monitors surveillance video and flags potential criminal activity. Well, final check on the forecast out there on this night, middle of hunting season in Manotick. Jackie, how's it looking?
Patricia, if you're ready to get haunted, tonight's the good time to do it. I've got clear skies. The winds are pretty calm, not much chill in the air other than what's happening inside Watsonsville. We are minutes away from the doors opening here. $10. They're from 7 to 10 p.m., not just for tonight, but for the next several days as well. Taking a look at tomorrow's conditions, that's when it's going to be super chilly conditions-wise. 2 degrees to start us off, so you'll want to maybe bring out that winter jacket. Slight chance that we could see some showers, getting to a daytime high of about 9 degrees, and we're going to average this out between 9 and 10 for really the remainder of the next several days. But the good news is that the sunshine is making a grand return and will be sticking with us for throughout a full week. Some fingers are crossed that this will maintain until Halloween night next Friday. Well, that's it from us here at Watson's Mill. Love to see the energy that's going to be popping up here as people get ready to be frightened, to be thrilled, and all of the above. Patricia, Kimberly.
So much fun, especially when it's not us and it's someone else getting scared. Jackie, thank you. We want to check in now to see what our news team will be working on for the 11:30. Kimberly is here.
Well, Patricia, we've got the 67s. We also have the Sens playing tonight, so we'll have a recap of both of those games. And the calls continue at Queen's Park for the Minister of Labour to resign. And we're now hearing about another minister who appears to have a connection to a multi-million-dollar grant under the controversial Skills Development Fund. Again, we'll have more on that story later on at 11:30. And you can get the news anywhere, anytime at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Okay, we'll check in with you then. And finally for us right now, an Ottawa woman has hit the jackpot. She is the city's newest millionaire after a multi-million-dollar lottery win. Jody Janescu winning $5 million in the Lotto 649 Classic jackpot. On April 26, she purchased the winning ticket at the Metro on Merivale Road. All of you are thinking, I'm there. I shop there. How come it's not me? But it's Jody this time. Congratulations to her. It has been a pretty good few days for people in the Ottawa area.
Absolutely.
We had someone from Kinburn win the $3.5 million and the Jays 50-50.
Yeah.
Big numbers.
I bought tickets for both of those.
And nothing. I just reminded me that I did not check my Sens 50-50 ticket from the other night. So maybe
I'll have to do that too.
I don't think it'll be $3.5 million though.
No, but yeah.
What will the World Series ones be?
Oh, I'm hoping they'll be, maybe 4 or 5.
Wow.
6 million, maybe. I'll buy a ticket regardless.
Yeah, since we don't have the other kind of ticket to actually get into the game. Have a good night, everyone.
Needle.